figured today's trash day, so before I drop off jobs that I had worked on last week, to see what kind of scrap is on the side of the road this morning really quickly in the neighborhood. I drove by earlier and there's a ceiling fan right over here, which I'm going to pick up real quick. Yep, there we go. I'm not going to bring the camera with me, but I'll be right back. I'm just going to go ahead and load this up. So yeah, you can expect to get a fair amount of copper off those ceiling fan motors. Might scrap that out live in today's video, we might not. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a quick ride around the block here. If there's anything else, I'll bring it right back. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For tonight's video, I'm going to go ahead and scrap out the ceiling fan that I picked up off the side of the road yesterday. It was down the street from my job. It was trash day yesterday, so I figured I'd go around the neighborhood and see if there's a few things before the trash man came and pick everything up. So yeah, so let's just get into this real quick. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off these glass globes. Now these glass globes, obviously you can put them in your recycling bin. One thing that one of my coworkers taught me was some people actually take these globes and they use them to put flowers in, or you know, plants or whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it's got the hole in the bottom, so you know, proper drainage and everything. So if that's something that, you know, you want to save, or you think that somebody might actually use, you know, save them. So anyways, let's just go ahead and take these off real quick. That one's really on there. There we go. Then we got one last one here. The easy thing about scrapping these over a cart is, you know, the motor is rotating, so you can move things around without really having to move the object too much. So we'll get through all these screws out of here, throw them in my ashtray, and there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and set these aside. I'm not gonna save them. I'm just gonna see if my coworker wants them, see if his wife wants to use them for flower pots, and if not, then I'm gonna put them in the recycling bin. So we'll just get rid of these real quick. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by pulling this chain assembly off. One thing, make sure you have a magnet handy. The chain is usually brass, so we'll take this off. Let's see. You might have to clip it, but yeah, whatever. You know, we'll save that for now. We'll leave that alone. Okay. So we got the globes removed. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna flip it over. Sorry about that, just hit the camera. Pretty filthy on this side. Layers of dust right into the wood. So normally what people do is when they're scrapping these out, they just want to get to the motor and that's it. I'm gonna do a complete tear down of this. So we'll get my drill ready here. Get the proper bit. Again, I don't like these Milwaukee bits. You can see them. They're pretty hollow right here in the middle. You know, pretty small. But anyways, go ahead and take these blades off real quick. So, not putting all the screws inside the ashtray tonight. There we go. One. It'll be a lot easier once these blades are off, because then it won't be hitting me in the groin. Okay, that was pretty easy. So these, just wood, throw them in your wood pile, throw them in your fire pit, do whatever you want with them. Honestly, they would make great shims for doors, honestly, if you cut them down small enough. So, yeah, there you go. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get this off here. So get this bracket off. It's a grounding wire here. It's got a little brass connector on it here if I get the screw out, which I probably won't be able to because it's bent. There we go. So yeah, these, let me get my camera back. All right, so these right here, these are brass, obviously. So set that aside, we'll clip that off later. There's a little pin in here, there we go, and this comes right off. This, I believe, is die cast, or cast aluminum, yeah, die cast. Tell by the magnet, doesn't stick. Set that aside, that'll be melted in the future. Now we can get this steel plate off. I'm definitely sure it's steel, may as well check it. Yep, sure is. So I'll throw that in the steel pile. So, I'm pretty much, it's been a while since I did one of these, so I'm pretty much going to be removing things as I go. There's a pin, there's a little pin in here. I think they call it a cotter pin. That's removed, so we can pull this out. There's a couple screws here. Take those out. Okay. The next thing I want to do is, I want to get these brackets off. These are cast aluminum. 9 times out of 10, they're cast aluminum. I've never really seen them in plastic or anything, but I have seen them in other various types of metals, so... There's just 2 on each here, so we'll take these off real quick. This might be a pain in the butt. There we go. A lot of these are actually loose. I wonder if that was what was wrong with the fan and why it was on the side of the road. So we're going to get our fair share of die-cast aluminum out of this. So that's a plus. I might actually melt these down. Maybe chop them up and then melt them. Make something out of it. So they're good far. Sorry if I'm making a lot of noise with this stuff. There we go. So now I'm just going to keep the die cast together. We'll keep it over in this corner by my gloves. Screws and stuff here. We're going to grab our retrieving magnet. We're going to get all the screws off here. Actually, we'll take that cotter pin. I think that's steel. So these pull chains, these chains are usually brass. It's been a while since I stripped one of these down, so I'm going to go ahead and actually try to get this base apart. But I'm assuming I'm probably going to have to unscrew this, so we'll just unscrew that real quick. And then we'll do the same with the other one, which is right here. There's a switch here. That's to reverse the fan. So there's probably going to be a silver contact in there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and start removing screws wherever I see them. Should be one more after this. Hopefully that's in focus. So yeah, here we go. Here's all the electronics. Move the wire caps. Actually, I will save those. I don't actually have any of those, so I'm going to save these. It's always good to save little hardware whenever you see it. You know, you never know when you're going to do a little project, a little electrical project or whatnot. So actually, this mechanism is actually good because I have a light in my kitchen that has a pull chain on it. It has this mechanism, and I broke the chain completely off. I broke it inside the housing, so I've got to replace it. So I might actually keep this. So I'm just going to unplug that, and I'm going to try to keep this in relatively good shape. Let's see, this unscrews. Unfortunately, I don't know how they pull that through. Let's see. Oh, there's a little tab on here that's bent over, so I'm going to try to unbend that just because I want to save this. I normally wouldn't go to this trouble, but I want to save this mechanism. This way here, I don't have to spend the $3 or whatever the hell it is at the hardware store. So, got a little piece there. Now we can pull this out. There we go. I'm going to keep all the guts together, and I'm going to put that back in. This way here, it'll be pretty much ready to go. Come on. Very tiny piece of metal here. I might actually get a better piece, but you get the idea. So I'm going to save this. I'm not going to strip this out. I need one of these. So I'll put that right there. So yeah, we just got some wires in here. A couple screws holding the fixture in. So take those out. These are ceramic and they got aluminum inside for the bulb sets. Missed it. There we go. Yeah, everything's a little bit loose. So these, they usually got like a rivet of some sorts in there. It's actually peened over all the way over. So we're just gonna clip the wires off. There's really not much brass in this to even worry about it. I do save these. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them, but I do save them. So just clip off the wires real quick. Get these out of the equation here. I will strip down these wires. There we go. We'll put that in the steel for right now. Just to kind of get it organized, get it out of the way. There we go. So we'll keep our wire in one section. There we go. That's all the wire we're going to strip. Here's another pull chain. This is definitely, that's part of that other one. So here we go. I'm going to leave that there. And this should be all steel. We'll just check it real quick. Yep, steel, steel. Yep, every piece is steel. So we'll throw that right in the steel pile. So let's see. The next thing we're going to do, we'll pull this piece of steel off. Yep, that's definitely steel. Sure is. Just start removing screws wherever you see them. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can get this apart. There's another one of these mechanisms. This actually might be the one that I need for the kitchen light. It's a little bit bigger. So we'll take these wire caps off. We're going to keep these if we can get them off. It's always good to have different size ones. There we go. I mean, why bother buying them at the hardware store if you get them for free, picking them up off the side of the road. Should be a relay in here. I don't usually break these apart. I just clip the wires off. And I will strip these little small wires just because I'm trying to show you as much copper that you can get out of one of these. There we go. Perfect. So we'll just set this aside for right now. I get these wires here. Let me get my retrieving magnet. We'll get rid of all these screws. Another wire here. I'm going to have to get the brass off of that one, but I'll do that after. Get the tools out of the way. And let's just start retrieving screws, get them out of here. That's brass. That's one of those caps that was covering the pull chains. So that's brass. This, I think this is actually not, oh yeah, it is brass. That's brass too. So here's all our screws. We'll just throw them right over here for right now. There we go. Oh, piece of wire got stuck in there. Got cotter pin. All right, there we go. So we'll keep this by my side over here. Oh, my cigarette died. Hold on one second. There we go. A couple screws in here too. Get rid of these. I said I was going to put them in the ashtray, but I don't want to deal with ashes and stuff in that mess. There's another screw. So, I want to keep this one. It's wired all the way through. Yeah, of course it is. So there's a big nut on here. We'll have to unscrew that. Switch here. Switch I'm not really concerned about, but we got some more wire nuts. So we'll keep those. It's actually easier too because I don't have to start clipping wires. I can just start pulling them right apart, just like that. There we go. And this is the last one holding it together. There we go. Perfect. So we'll leave the switch assembly here with the wire. I mean, honestly, what I could do is, the switch is so close to the light in my kitchen, the fixture, I could just clip this wire right around here. So we'll do that. Actually, you know what? We'll clip it down here. There we go. It's looped around, so we'll just untwist it real quick. There we go. We're going to hang on to that one too, just in case. So, and if I don't end up using them by the end of the video, or the end of the editing of the video, I'll go ahead and strip it down and include it. So we got a little, couple prongs of brass in here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a couple prongs of brass in here. I don't really strip those. They're just too minute. So you can throw that in in your plugs bin, if that's what you got. So get these wires untwisted. Just try to clean it up as best as you can while you're doing this. So there is a big nut right here. We're going to try to get that off next because I want to take this piece off. Let's see if I got my big channel locks here, which I do. Okay. Got my channel locks here. So I grab that. It's probably going to twist around. Oh, that's really on there. It might be reverse threaded. Let me just take a quick look here. Doesn't look like it. Come on. I hate these channel locks. No. Oh. there it goes. Okay. Unless it's twisted. Oh, there it goes. Perfect. So we'll get this out of here. Steel, making sure it's that steel, which I'm sure it is. Never seen them made out of junk metal before. Okay. So then this, you just hold this at the bottom here, because it wants to spin around, and untwist this. There we go. That's more steel. Yep, sure is. We'll leave the magnet right there. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start removing screws wherever I see them. Remove all these screws here. Actually, the brass I'm going to leave up there. Now the motor is loose inside. This has to come off so you can get this out. So you're going to need a nut driver for this here. Let's see if we have one, which we do. 4-in-1 screwdriver works just as good. It's got a nut driver here that will fit. So just loosen them up. Get this out of the way. There we go. So put that back. Take a refresher. Let's see. These actually might be like pot metal. They feel like it. You know, certain metals just have a certain feel to them. Okay, so let's check this. Yep, that's steel. Put that right there. Okay, this is definitely steel. Yep. There we go. Actually, is what we'll do. Throw everything in nicely like this. There we go. Not too bad. There's a hole in the bottom, but not too many screws should escape. There we go. Everything's contained nicely. So we'll check these little acorn caps, see if they're steel or not. Oh, and they are. So we'll throw that in. All right. We pretty much got everything stripped down. Almost pretty much. I mean, I've got a couple screws on each side, so we'll do that in a minute. Let's just clean up this little area here. Get my trusty retrieving magnet. Get out of the way. All right, and this goes to that pull chain, by the way. It's just cheap plastic or acrylic. So got all the screws off. Throw that. There we go. I shouldn't need this magnet anymore, but I'm still going to keep it by my side. Never know. Quick refresher. And we're done with that. There we go. I don't have to worry about this no more. And we're actually going to take it right out of the equation. There we go. So, we've got the electric motor here. Been a while since I did one of these. I'm going to go ahead and do this side first. Just throw them in there. Now, if memory serves me correctly, it's been ages since I did one of these. I used to take the motors out and then I would just sell them to the scrapyard as is, just as the motor. But I don't do that anymore. I am trying to stack copper, and you know, I'm willing to break it down every step of the way. So I think if I get a flat blade in here, I can go along the seam and kind of wedge it and then pry this piece off. So let's just get a flat blade real quick. I got one here somewhere. Trying to look for a wide one. The wider the blade for splitting this apart, the better. So there we go. Just go along the edge and just go in the seam and twist it, and it'll start eventually coming apart. There we go. And there we go. So that came off pretty easily. This is steel. Oh, see, that's steel. We'll set another pile aside. Now, here's your motor. The way that you got to strip these, you're going to have to clip either in the middle. Normally, I use like a small Dremel for something like this. Go on the outer edge and then work your way inwards. You're going to pretty much go in the middle, right here, cut each one. And then from the other side, you just take like a flat blade screwdriver and get underneath it and pry it back, which I will show you on camera. We're just trying to break down the rest of this. Not sure how this is going to come out. This actually might not even come off. It's in there pretty good. I don't think that's threaded. Oh, it is. It is threaded. So it's a threaded rod here. So normally what I do in this case to get these out, I usually put, first of all, I go to the grinding wheel. I put a flat spot here, then a flat spot on the opposite edge. I stick it in my vise where the flat spots are, tighten the jaws as much as I can, and grab onto this with the pair of channel lock pliers. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and grind a flat spot here. Well, can't see it looking through the camera. And then on the opposite side, it'll just be easier to take this bracket off here, this bracket. Nice little flat spot there. And then we'll do the same on the other side. We're just going to find it. There it is. And there we go. This, I believe, this top piece here, I believe, is die cast, actually. So honestly, I probably could have just smashed it with a hammer. But anyways, just to give you an idea, it's flat there, and then it's flat on the other side. That wire out of the way, right there. So we're gonna stick this in the vise next. There we go. I'll move you back a little bit. And we're gonna grab this with a pair of channel locks, and we're gonna twist it off, break it off, do whatever we gotta do. Now, some of you are probably wondering why I didn't take the screws out yet. It'll just be a little easier for me to do it afterwards. So, here we go. Yep, that unscrews. So, see, a lot easier. I will show you the easiest way to scrap something. Just unscrew this. And there we go. And I believe, like I said, that this is die cast. I'm just going to grab a magnet real quick. Got another magnet. Yeah. That's die cast. So we'll set that aside for a minute. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and unscrew these here. The last one. Okay. Now this should come off. And then we're going to see if we could pry it off. Get a flat blade in here. See if we can lift it up. See that? Okay. We're going to take a flat blade, go along the edge here. You can pry this off with a hammer. There it goes. Alright, now this is still attached to this. So we can get this out. Alright. This should be some kind of aluminum. It is heavy though. I mean, it might be steel. So let me check that real quick. So let's see. Yep, that's steel. That's all steel. Yep. So we'll throw that in the steel pile. Rid of that for right now. We've got our motor winding here. I'm gonna try, see maybe if I can pry up on it. No, that's not gonna work. A little bit, prying up a little bit. Oh, there it is. Got a motor on both sides. So what you do, again, you take a Dremel with a cutting disc, you go on each one, cut them all the way through, and then you can go ahead and pull it. Yeah, I don't have the tools here right now, so we'll go ahead and do that. I'll get a little bit of it on camera just to give you an idea, and then we'll bring you back once we get all the copper out of here. There's not a lot in this ceiling fan. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger than this. But you know what, though? I mean, it's a little bit of copper. You know, might not be worth it to scrap it for you. Might just be better off taking the motor as is with the steel still on it, and then, you know, give it to the scrapyard as is, and they'll give you electric motor price. So, I mean, you should try to strip it as much as you can, but, you know, if it's really difficult, they'll still got to take it as is. All right, guys. Don't use a Dremel for something like this. Use this cheap tool here. It's a Harbor Freight, Chicago Electric. It's got a 3-inch cutoff wheel on it, so it'll make a little bit. It'll make it a little bit quicker to do this. It is a wider blade, so you will lose a little bit more dust, but it shouldn't give me a problem. Let me just try one real quick. Yeah, much better. You don't have to worry about it breaking the disc off either. So. And it looks like we're getting some of the plastic off with it. We're actually going right in between these things here. So just got to be careful. Go between these. You don't want to get the blade, the disc caught in it, and then it'll break off and shatter everywhere. So make sure you use like eye protection or at least a face shield at the very least. So we got a couple more of these done. So let's just pull these out. This one will get stuck here because it's got another one through it. So try that one. Make it a little easier for yourself. Just go like that. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, so this is pretty quick. I mean, this relatively is pretty quick. I'm not on that bearing anymore, so I can't really spin this around. So, sorry if I'm in the way. But yeah, we're getting a fair share of copper of this. So let me finish this, and I'll bring you right back. There we go. Come on, get in there. There we go. And last one. Yeah. So there we go. We've got this completely stripped out now. You can see nothing on it either side, just the little plastic pieces in here. I'm just going to leave them in. So yeah, this is scrap steel. We've got all the copper right there. And that literally took 5 minutes to take apart to get all of that. I mean, it's probably not going to weigh a lot. It might weigh about 1/4 pound. But yeah, definitely get one of these Chicago Electric cutoff deals. Who the came is that? Definitely get one of these Chicago Electric 3-inch cutoff wheel thingamajigs, whatever they call it. Yeah, electric cutoff tool. There you go. Would help if I actually read it. So yeah, it's a 3-inch high-speed electric cutoff tool. It's only got 3 amps. So if you're really pushing hard on it, it's going to blow the fuse. You're just going to have to reset it right there. It's kind of a pain in the butt. This piece broke off. It had a safety on it. I actually like it broken because now I can just use it like that. And then don't really have to worry about it. So anyways, we'll go ahead and bring this back to the cart, and we'll strip out the wires, and we'll get you a total weight. Okay guys, we got everything scrapped out. Here's all the die cast. We're gonna go ahead and weigh this first. This is already teared out, so we'll go ahead and throw that in there. We've got 1 pound, 3.1 ounces of die cast, so that's not bad. That's worth, I don't know, 50, 60 cents. Put that there. And then we've got the all the copper. All the copper colored stuff came right off of that motor. That took 5 minutes to strip out completely, using a bigger cutoff wheel disc on that Chicago Electric cutoff tool. A lot easier. Didn't take that long. Like I said, 5 minutes to peel everything off, and then a few extra minutes to strip the wires. The tin-coated ones are wire that I actually stripped from the ceiling fan. So let's just get everything in here. I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting maybe 1/4 pound, just by the way that this feels. So let's put the rest of it in there. All right, so we got 6.8 ounces. So yeah, not a lot of copper inside a ceiling fan. It doesn't take long to scrap them out. So if it's worth it for you, if you're stacking copper, definitely go ahead and try it. I mean, it literally take you about 10 minutes to really rip that apart completely, especially if you got power tools and everything like I've got. We're gonna melt this. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and melt this. So let me get the furnace set up, and we'll bring you back. Not a bad looking bar. It's small, which was to be expected. So we'll go ahead and get that cleaned up, and we'll bring it back for the final weigh-in. Okay guys, we got the bar all cleaned up. That's what she looks like. Like I said, very small bar. So we'll see how much we lost. There's definitely a bunch of lacquer that was on that wire. I could smell it when it was melting. So we definitely know we lost a little bit there. So, and plus there's a little bit of slag still at the bottom of the crucible. So anyways, we'll go ahead and weigh this up. It's already set in grams. So we've got 175 grams. So that equates to, I think about 6 ounces. Let's see, 6.2 ounces. So yeah, we lost maybe about 3/4 of an ounce, you know, maybe about 21 grams or so, if I had to guess. So yeah, that's typically what you could expect to find in a ceiling fan. So yeah, not great, but they don't take too long to scrap out. And like I said, we got about 1 pound, 3 ounces worth of die cast, and then a little bit more scrap steel to throw to our pile, and then a tiny bit of brass right over there. So anyways, let's go ahead and do one of my favorite things. We're going to add it to the stack. There we go. So the previous video, my total was 109.25 pounds. So add another 6.2 ounces to the stack. So thank you very much for watching my video. If this kind of stuff interests you, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you hit the bell notification, you'll be alerted once I post a video to YouTube. So, and go ahead and like it if you think it was a good enough video and you learned something today. So anyways, thank you very much for watching, and happy scrapping and casting.